Hey there, boys and girls. Welcome to your Ed Puzzle homework tonight, dealing with adding hundreds. So what we're going to talk about tonight is just like we did with adding tenths, we're going to be combining numbers together, but we're going to be focusing more on the hundredths place tonight. So our learning target for tonight is I can add hundredths with hundredths, and we're going to be doing that with and without composing, or with and without making new groups. All right, so a really easy way to think of hundredths a lot of time is to think of money. Because if you think of how much a dollar is worth 100 cents, which means if you were taking that dollar and breaking it into 100 pieces, each piece would be worth 1/100th of a dollar. So a lot of times when you're adding hundreds together as you get older, you're going to be doing it with money. It's not the only place, but it is one of the most common places you'll see adding hundreds together. All right, and just like we did the other day, we're going to be using place value to really help us add our hundreds together. So notice I've got the red place here, which is the wholes, the one wholes. You've got the blue place, which would be your tenths, and then you've got your yellow place here, which would be your hundreds. Now, right now, my numbers are side by side. It's easier to put them together and see how everything is being combined when you stack them up vertically so that everything lines up. And again, the easiest way to make sure everything is lined up is if you line up those decimal points. So if you're able to do that, that makes everything else into the place it needs to be in. Okay, just like we did if we were adding any other numbers together this year like we've done, we're going to start in that place to the right because it is the smallest place that they're giving you. Right now, this would be our hundredths place. So if I do 600ths plus 100th, that's going to be 700ths. That's not enough to make or compose a new group because you would need at least 10 to do that. So now I can move over to the tenths place. 5/10ths plus 4/10ths, well, that's going to be 9/10ths. And I'm going to also bring down my decimal point because that's going to separate my wholes from my extra pieces or my leftovers. Still not enough to make anything new or compose anything new. So now I can go to my ones place. 4 ones plus 2 ones, that's going to be 6 ones. So my answer for this would be, 6 and 97 hundredths. Nice job. And again, all we were doing here was stacking our numbers up so that all of our place value spots are lined up together. And then we just turn this into a regular addition problem like we've done all year. All right. So looking at another problem here is one more example. Again, I've already stacked these up because that's the easiest way to see them and make sure everything is lined up like it should be. I'm going to go through and I'm going to start adding in my hundredths place first because remember, if I have enough hundredths, I can make a new tenth. If I have enough tenths, I can make a new whole. If I have enough ones, I can make a new 10. That's why I always start in the smallest place first. So 5 hundredths plus 3 hundredths, that's going to be 8 hundredths. That's not enough to make a new whole, so I can just go over to my tenths place. I don't have to carry anything over. 5/10ths plus 7/10ths, that's going to be 12/10ths. And remember, I'm not going to write down 12 in the tenths place because I can only put one digit in each place. So I'm not going to write it like that. I'm going to put down, I'm going to put down my leftover 2/10ths and my decimal point. That way we're separating things we need to separate. And then I'm going to carry over that new whole that I made. Because really, like I had there before, there's your 12/10ths. But I'm able to take 10 of those over to make a new whole, and I've only got 2/10ths left. Now I can start adding my wholes together. Well, 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 7 more would be 14. So just like I did there, I'm going to put down the 4 that are left. I'm going to carry over that new group of 10 that I was able to make. And then no 10s that are there, plus that one extra 10. That's going to be 1. So when I'm all done with my number, it is going to say, get this right here for you. When I'm all done, it's going to say 14 and 28 hundredths. And again, it's the same type of math we've done all year. except now we're putting some decimal points in there to separate our wholes from our extra pieces. All right, so your homework for tonight is on lesson 10.10. That's page 384 and 385 in your math workbooks. Okay, and your assignment for tonight is at the bottom of page 384. You are going to pick two of these problems in step up number one. So you need to solve two of these now. Remember, if you'd like to solve more, you can. We'll go over those later on. And then your job is to pick three of these problems on page 385. So you're going to be writing the total cost for those. So you're going to pick three of those to solve now. And again, if you want to solve more of them, you can. We'll go over those later on. Have a good night. Make smart choices.